If you want to have multiple material IDs, you assign them in Maya manually by selecting the face and saying right click, assign new material, and then you just choose the next material. Let's say I added this blend now and change its color to green. And my original blend, the rest of the material is black and has a texture on it. That's how you assign material IDs in Maya. If you want to select material IDs, you have to open the hypershade, and then let's say I want to select, give me just a sec, and then let's say I want to select the parts of my mesh like this. I right click and say select objects with material, and now I selected that part of the mesh. Same thing applies with this. To set multiple material IDs in Max, assign multiple materials to a mesh, you go into face mode, and originally you should always reset everything. So let me go here and say set ID to 1 after I selected everything. So that resets the mesh. Otherwise, it can have multiple IDs randomly assigned to faces. That's just how Max does it. I don't know why. So after you've done that, you can go here and select ID, for example, 1, and it will select all my mesh. But now let's say I just want to assign these faces to number 2, so I just type a number here and set ID. And now if I go to select ID2, it will choose that for me. And if I open my materials by pressing M or by pressing this button up here, I have my material library, and now currently this mesh has this material assigned to it. And if I want to assign multiple materials to an object, I have to come here and search for multi sub object, and you just drag it into the scene, and you have this node which is a container of the number of materials you want, and by default it has 10, but you can delete them and assign as many as you want later. So this is my material number 1, let's say, and this message just popped up to be careful about which renderer you use. So now I'm using this physical material, but it doesn't matter at this point, so let me just make a new one. Maybe I make this one and assign it to material number 2, and now the messages just keep popping up. And I'll make this red, and I'll make this one, I'll leave it as is. And if I want the map to display, I have to say show shaded material in viewport. So show on the subobject at subobject level. So now I drag my output over the object and it's assigned. And now you can see that my original material, which has a texture that Max didn't find at the moment, is gray, and my other ID is red. That's how you assign multiple materials to an object in Max. To assign multiple material IDs in Blender, you select your object, you go here to the Material tab, and here where it says plus or minus, add a material slot or as many as you want, and these are your IDs. To add a material to them, you either press new if there is nothing, or you select from this planet icon material that already exists. I'll just make 3 materials for example's sake, so let me just color these in certain ways so there'll be a difference. And now in edit mode, I can select some faces and assign them to any of these IDs. Once I select them, I have to click assign on top of them. I'll just go to material preview, of course, to see them. So by default, the first one is always on. So let me just select these faces and press assign to the red one, and assign these to this blue one. And that's how you have different material IDs.